What new movie's releasing on Amazon Prime Video this weekend? I'm Your Woman. No, that's the name of the movie, I'm Your Woman. You know what? Let's just get into the review. What's going on, you guys? James here with another real review, and today I'm diving into I'm Your Woman, directed by Julia Hart and starring Rachel Brosnahan, Marsha Stephanie Blake, and Arinzé Kene. Before we go any further, a huge thank you to Amazon Studios for providing me with a screener for review. If you don't know much about this film, well, it's the 1970s, and a woman named Jean, played by Rachel Brosnahan, is forced to go on the run after her husband betrays his partners, sending her and her baby on a dangerous journey. Now let me tell you, I was super excited to sit down with this one because Rachel Brosnahan is a gem, and honestly, her in a crime drama? Come on. But is this one worth your time this weekend? Now before I answer that and so much more, guys, if it's your first time here at the channel, welcome to Real James, where I talk about movies early just like this all of the time. So if you want to stay in the know, go ahead and hit the big red button below, subscribe to the channel, tap on that bell to stay up to date with anything new, and if you haven't already, smash that like button and get loud in the comments and let me know if you're watching this movie this weekend, and if you've already seen it, what did you think? So guys, let's start right at the top with what I enjoyed about this movie, and that really is Rachel Brosnahan. Once again, she displays her incredible range, and she was by far the standout in this movie. Sure, she got the lion's share of screen time, but I understood her character completely, and that's something I can't say about every single performance in this movie. She was the only character that had layers that were fully discovered and developed throughout the course of the film. Jean is one character that has to handle motherhood on her own and struggles with seeing everyone around her excel in what she tries to be good at, whether it be calming down the baby, cooking, or even finding love, true love, with a partner. It's interesting to see that as the film progresses because honestly, the writing for her character was the best. So of course, she is the lead. She's going to get a lot of the spotlight, but I feel like Rachel Brosnahan did an excellent job in this film. And technically speaking, the movie is very well done. I love the score here by Asuka Matsumiya. It's just very intense, and I do dig the 70s vibe that it tries to create, but also with a tinge of a modern feel. And that's what's cool about this score, is that even when moments aren't really that intense, when I start hearing every instrument in the background, my heart begins beating a little bit faster, and if a score can do that, it's successful. And then there's the cinematography and direction. It's shot very well. This movie really dives into that 70s feel with vibrant colors on display in the beginning, and then as the story begins to get a little bit darker, so do the colors. There is a great deal of care put into this movie. You can tell that each shot did matter to a degree, but whether or not I felt impacted by it is another story. So let's get into what I didn't like about I'm Your Woman, because this movie is not perfect and I don't think it's going to be loved by everyone. The storyline here is the film's worst enemy. This is a very slow burn for the first hour and we're left with a lot of questions. Luckily, they do answer some of those questions. The only thing is, some of those answers weren't compelling. Crime dramas really are ripe for intense story beats, but once the movie ended, I never felt impacted in any which way. Instead, I remembered all of the times where I was detached from the story, and gosh, I wanted it to hit a home run there in the third act, and I didn't really feel that way. I almost expected what was coming in a way, but guys, I just didn't really feel moved, and that was bad. I want to feel something with the end of the story, and well, I didn't. And then outside of Rachel Brosnahan, I don't think the acting is very consistent. Arinzé Kene is an actor who I believe is good, right? He displays the fact that he's capable of leading a scene, but he can sometimes go from 0 to 100 really quickly and it not feel very earned, where he can just yell and shout and man, my eyes widen, but at the same time it feels out of place. So maybe that's a writing issue, but honestly I feel like he showed glimpses of why he could be great. So there's moments that are genuine with his character, but I don't feel like he had the strongest performance, and honestly I couldn't buy into any other role, and it's a shame because I do believe that there are good actors and actresses here in this film. Again, I just think the execution was a little bit off. And there are almost too many conversations full of expositional dialogue. You guys know me, if you've been watching the channel, one of my biggest pet peeves is when scripts tell and they don't show. Here, I was willing to give it a pass in the first act because the idea of a crime drama is to unfold the mystery sometimes as we go along, so we are playing detective as well. But once the movie does unravel, we're still getting a ton of questions asked. At least I know I was asking a lot of questions, because in every single conversation, there's more and more story threads to pull on. And sometimes it got a little confusing. Honestly, I was a little lost and, again, detached from those conversations because it just became a lot of talking and not enough seeing. And then once we skirt into the final act, it left me wondering, why do we care so much about Eddie again? I don't even necessarily know what he did wrong. I'm guessing he stole from some people and they were trying to get him back. Maybe. That's what the movie is kind of suggesting, but it doesn't necessarily answer that in the clearest of ways. So again, I didn't really care too much about where the film ended up, and the journey wasn't as compelling. So overall, you guys, I'm Your Woman is one movie that I feel like some will love throwing up on the weekend, but if you're sitting down and making time for this 2-hour movie, you might be a little disappointed. At least I know I was. It's a film that is ripe for intensity. There's a lot of good that could have come out of this story, but instead we get a great performance by Rachel Brosnahan, but we don't necessarily get the strongest writing. Where I should have been locked into the movie, I felt detached, and there were plenty of moments where the intensity was riding at an all-time high for the film, and it didn't result in anything. It didn't amount to anything substantial, and I felt like some of this was a little shallow. So I'm Your Woman is a movie that, yes, it's good enough for streaming, but I'd have to imagine that if you carve 2 hours out of your day for this, you might be a little let down. It's a Rachel Brosnahan film. Guys, she is the star clearly, but I was almost hoping that the execution was better and maybe the writing was a little bit stronger for our supporting cast, because even though I believe they were good, I don't think they were given the fairest of shakes. Now guys, I'm Your Woman, again, a film that is not terrible, but a little forgettable, so I want to know what you guys have to say in the comments down below. Let me know, do you agree with me or do you disagree with me? And if you haven't, guys, go ahead and smash that big red button below. Get subscribed to the channel. We're so close to 3,000, and we got a busy day tomorrow. Disney Investor Day 2020, that's going to be a big deal. 4 hours of news, and it's all going to be here on the channel for you guys. Alrighty, y'all. Well, I'm going to go get prepped for that. Probably do some push-ups and some jumping jacks, or just go and eat some ice cream. There's always that. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you at the next screening.